Live and direct. How are you, Mr. Sebi?
I'm good. How are you, dude? Mr. Carlos?
You just came from a workout, right?
Yes, I did. I like slow mornings, but I still like to work out in the morning. I usually try to start my morning with like my me time with God, read the Bible and pray, and then after that I like to try to usually get a workout in after that. I don't know.
That's been something new, bro. That's brought you closer. That's pretty awesome to see. Even your growth, bro, from like when we first met to like now, you've really, really stepped out in terms of like the personal growth.
I'm doing my best, man. I mean, I think everybody's doing their best, like we're just taking it day by day. I had, ups and downs, and, I think those downs have like brought me, closer to God and has helped me, grow my faith. And, now that's like a big important piece of my life. And so just trying to implement what I learn into my daily living, but it's easier said than done. Like I still like, mess up from,
And not just in spiritual, but personal growth.
So
The way you kind of, I know you're telling me, I don't want to talk too much about it, but you
no, go ahead.
got yourself in a situation, you saw yourself from a third perspective and extracted your feelings from everything and you observed everything in the whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, like when anything like traumatic or anything like bad happens, I mean, I don't know, like you can sit and stand idly by and let your life go past and sit with it and just not do anything about it, or you can choose to take a stance, move forward even though it hurts, and just keep showing up for yourself, because
I think hurt is probably your biggest sign that you're going to grow.
yeah.
And I think that's a lot of thing that creators probably don't see. Like in the moment, we don't see that this hurt is going to be really beneficial for us, and it's going to be the start of something special.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Yeah. I think most creatives, their best ideas, I think, come from a place of pain. And not to say like you can't, get ideas from other places, but yeah, like I would say like was at my most disciplined and most motivated right after I was just like dealing with some like hard stuff, And so, yeah, I think it's the creator way. You have to just show up for yourself,
Bro, we've had these like deep talks of heartbreak, not just heartbreak, but like personal hurt. And it really just comes down to like, bro, you really have to have some type of tribe, your friends, your family, someone to essentially not just lean on, but to guide you in the right direction. I know sometimes we like say these things and it's easier said than done, but if I was your real friend and if you're my real friend, you'll tell me like, hey, bro, heads up, this is what I see externally. That doesn't mean it's right. It's just what I'm seeing. And there's those instances, bro, where we both kind of have to like wake ourselves up, and that's why it's important to have friends around you. I'm sure that mattered a lot to you last year.
Oh yeah, like having the right people around you is so huge. I had many different friends and many different acquaintances like throughout the years, and people come and go. But I think what's super important, especially if you're trying to like grow, both personally, spiritually, whatever that may be, it's important to have, people who are like-minded around you, who want to see you win, who want to see you grow, like you guys, like I hang out with you guys because, we inspire each other to do better. We inspire each other to create. We inspire each other to, just to win. You know what I mean? So you want people around you who want you to win.
Yeah, that's probably one of the strongest things you really can. Because you can't do it alone. You really can't. Starting out, I'm sure you didn't have people to look up to or like people that shared those same values, right?
No.
Even in like elementary school, bro, I feel like we have kind of like the same. We're never really like loud or, but we weren't really outspoken. We kind of just were on our own bubble. And then as time progressed, we kind of learned to become our own person. We were kind of delayed in terms of like our personality and what we like just because we didn't have people around us that shared those same values.
For sure. I mean, I think I had like, like I had friends, growing up. I think I talked about it the last pod, like, when I first started getting into video stuff, I had a friend that I would do, silly skits with. He was my best friend. And, he's, hope he's doing well. But yeah, it's, I feel like if you're, a lot of creative people, I think, feel that way too. Like not a lot of people like understand, especially if you're like trying to do this for a living. I feel like a lot of people struggle to understand like what that looks like, you know, how that affects you on a day-to-day basis, you know, like the work that goes into it. You know, people think it's just like, oh, I just want to make pretty stuff for a living. But no, it's like you really have to like, there's so much more to it that people don't realize, you know?
It's a lot, man. It's a lot more nuanced too, right? There's no right or wrong. Like, I know some people that saved up their money and then ended up quitting their jobs later.
Yep.
Where like for me, I put pressure on myself to like just do it. Otherwise, it'll be now or never.
Yep.
Because I always delayed stuff. So
Oh, dude, I delayed stuff for so long, man. I got it.
I swear, I quit my job with like $0 saved. I just jumped in, bro. That was a whole like pressure. But at the end of the day, we're all gonna die, and this is like kind of the way I see it. I feel like death is a big motivation for me. You don't have to see it this way. Obviously, this is a little darker, but we're all gonna die at the end of the day. So
We're all going to die.
all gonna die. So think of you in that deathbed before you're about to pass out. Your doctor came in and it's like, hey, you know, you got 10 minutes to live. Say your goodbyes. And in that those 10 minutes, you think like, hey, what do I regret? You got all these things that going through your mind. And at the end of the day, we're all gonna die. So you better. I mean, there's no better saying you want to fuck around and find out, but you really do want to just see what could be. And I never want to be like, damn, what could have been? Like regrets.
No, I mean, I feel that way, you know, exactly the same, you know, like the phrase says, like memento mori, you know, remember you must die. And yeah, I think we're called to, I think a lot of people feel like they're called to do something more, but I think we let fear of the unknown, fear of uncertainty kind of take hold. And cause I put stuff off for way longer. Like I feel like my journey, even in like what I do, like with videography and photography, I feel like probably is taking longer than the average person, you know, like I'm a little older than probably like your average, you know, videographer at this point. But I mean, I don't know, but you know, I think looking back, I'm like, yeah, I do regret not, you know, starting things like for example, starting to build like a personal brand or starting to like post content. Like I feel like I wish I would have done it earlier, but there's a phrase that goes, the best time to start, say like there was one phrase actually, it was a video I saw earlier and it was talking about YouTube. And it was like, yeah, the best time to start YouTube was 10 years ago. The second best time to start is like right now.
Yeah, yeah. And it's crazy because like this creative outlet that we both share, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, these have these special characteristics. And I think this may be said about different things, but they have the specific characteristics in terms of there's so much friction to get started.
Yeah.
Whether it be like, oh, I got to get this camera, I got to get this mic, or I got to get this. There's always something within this, you know, this the ways of presentation. And I'm not sure why, but a lot of people just have like a border, like, oh, I got to get a better mic, or I got to get a better camera, and then they'll create. What do you think that is, bro, in your head? What was going through your mind when you had these type of things?
It's classic analysis paralysis, you know, like you want things to look perfect before you put it out there because you're afraid of what people will say, you're afraid of what people will think. And I've, you know, been guilty of that too. I've definitely suffered from that. But I think like the most important thing, and so it's something you taught me, is just to just put stuff out. Like it doesn't matter because the internet is moving so fast. Everything is just like, you know, it's news one day and then the next day it's old news. So it's like, it really doesn't matter. Like just put stuff out because it doesn't matter what people think or say because tomorrow it'll be old news and then you can put out something else. And if it sucked, that's just data for you to learn and be like, okay, this video sucked. What can I learn and do better in the next one? You know?
Moral of the story, put it out there and we'll figure it out later.
Figure it out later.
That's the ultimate motto for really anything in life, right? Not just, I mean, if you want to learn basketball, you got to just practice. You want to be a
Michael Jordan didn't make his
bodybuilder.
What's
you
that?
Gotta keep lifting.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
I was going to say, I was like, what was it? Michael Jordan didn't make his, was it middle school basketball team? And then he was like, nah, like he didn't let that failure stop him. He was just like, I'm just going to keep practicing. And now he's Michael freaking Jordan, you know?
Crazy. Is there anyone alive right now or passed away that you really look up to?
Like, how recent are we talking?
Could be anything, any point in time in history. Or
In
now.
history, man, that's a tough one.
You feel like you could learn a lot from a little bit of everyone, right? Like
Yeah.
Drake, Elon Musk.
I would say I was upset when Robin Williams passed away. That one really got me because I watched a lot of his movies as a kid growing up. And he was always just like a really just like light in a room. You know what I mean? He was always like trying to help people, always trying to like help out, you know, his friends, family. And I just feel like, you know, his life was cut way too short.
Yeah, bro. I'm not too familiarized with. I grew up watching some of his movies, but what do you think caused that?
I think it was a mixture of things. I think mental health, you know, like I feel like a lot of comedians or like creators in general like struggle with mental health, and whether that's, you know, ADHD, depression, anxiety, OCD, like I feel like every creative always has like something a little bit wrong with them. I mean, I'm not saying that's like
You kind of have to be crazy to.
yeah, I feel like you kind of
Put
have
yourself
to
out
be. Then you have to have a couple of, you know, screws loose to like really like do something like this for a living and be like fearless. But even still, like, you know, fear is part of it. It comes with it. But I think what's important is like as a, you know, as an entrepreneur, as a creator, someone who's trying to like do this is to like, and this is something I need to learn and do from better for myself, is like create guardrails so that way, like, because I feel like people who, you know, struggle with, you know, their mental health, like they are very creative, but having those guardrails to kind of like keep them in line and keep them focused on their goals and like what they're trying to achieve with their creativity, I think is like super important.
There's a lot of battles that everyone faces, and
Yes,
you know, at the end
sir.
of the day, I feel like it's usually the happiest ones that have a lot of weight in their shoulders.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah.
We're just gonna start crying like,
I mean, bro, at the end of the day, you kind of have to see and learn from a lot of different people, and emotions and how the brain works is so nuanced, so you don't really know. For as much as I can say, like, oh, depression's not real, yada, 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 I don't really know how people's brain really functions, bro.
it's such like the
It's like a
the
red
Mexican
pill,
point
like a
of
red
view.
pill, like, oh, bro, you can't be
Depression, that doesn't exist.
100%.
Sadness, psh, you're not working
It's just
hard
the way
enough.
people's brains are wired, and really, for me, what's gotten me out of like not like crazy scenarios, but just in general, whenever I get in my head, it's just like, dude, you're grateful. You have everything you need to become a person and share your work.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're ever feeling like that, I feel like really taking a step back and like even a simple walk, a sauna, gym, like, bro,
Yeah.
the simple things in life: sleep, eat good, walk, get in tune with the spiritual nature, and all these like corny sayings that were true. It's like, as we growing up, we really like tend to recognize it. It's all real,
Yeah.
for a good reason.
Yeah, I think we all thought like our parents were like full of crap, and then we grew up and we're like, oh yeah, I think they had a
It's all
point.
real. It's all real.
So it's all real, you know. But yeah,
100%.
taking care of yourself is super important. Having that me time, like to kind of like shut off the world, because I mean, especially like with what we do, we're so like delve deep into like social media and like constantly, because that's like what we do for a living, right?
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
So I think having that time to just like disconnect and just have your me time and have your spiritual time, your mental health time, your physical activity, like you need that, because without it, you're
Yeah.
definitely you're gonna crash and burn like
Yeah,
really
bro,
fast.
that is cool. But you need these conversations, bro, because at the end of the day, you ignore the noise, you remove everything, like any of the surface level stuff you remove.
Yeah,
You're just by yourself in your room with your thoughts. That is who you are. And to have like these like conversations, bro, it's really kind of a form of therapy. Even for me, I just like talking about it and just letting it out. Because I know as a man, you're also told to like, you know, be strong. And while that's also true, you also got to make sure that you don't build resentment, where energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So it has to transfer somewhere else.
true.
Or use the gym.
Yeah, I think getting those negative emotions out in a healthy way is super important, because we definitely, I mean, I've done it too. You know, I've held stuff in. I got be resentful, passive aggressive, and it's just not healthy.
And those are like the worst times of people. Whenever you're like, hanging out with them and then they hold some type of grudge or like you feel it and it's like,
Yeah.
bro, that's evil. Just let
Speaking
it out.
of
And that's
which-
why I kind of have like a big mouth. I just kind of sometimes I should just like not say things and hold it, and I'm more reserved as well. But I also have to just make sure you present it differently, package it differently for people to hear. But anyways, go ahead, bro. My bad.
Speaking of grudges, you owe me $20. No, I'm kidding.
As a matter of fact, they'll pay you in front of the coop.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait, do I actually?
No, I'm joking.
Oh. I was like, wait, hold on, bro. Pretty good at like keeping up with
No,
it.
no, no,
Bro,
no.
it's like the worst when you have that guy that like owes you money and then they'll like
You see him at a concert and you're
Try
like,
to-
hey.
thankfully I haven't had a lot of people like that in my life, but like
Yeah.
I definitely have had, those people that, I can feel it. I feel like you can really feel it when you talk to people. Even on the phone, I feel kind of like this, like, and mind you, earlier in our career, we're like young in our early 20s, but now, and then that's why this exists.
We're
'cause
old.
Now this exists because now I can actually provide some type of value in my knowledge that I've learned as a videographer, content creator in my late 20s because I couldn't really talk while I was early 20s. I feel like I had to mature and learn, and now I can finally like provide some type of value, I feel like.
That's true. Because I feel the same way. Like, even though I've been doing this for longer, probably than like an average videographer, like, I've seen a lot. And yeah, I think I can provide a lot of value to, especially to people who are just starting out. Because I mean, I don't believe we ever stop learning. I think like
Either you're learning or you're slowly dying. In all the seriousness, to wrap it up, anyone that is struggling mentally or doesn't have anyone that can provide that energy, bro, like we really, really blend in very great energy and align with great values. What would you say to them watching right now at home or wherever, driving, wherever they're at?
what would I say to them? And like, okay, can you rephrase the question?
Hey, I don't have anyone. I'm just starting out.
Oh,
I want to
okay.
learn from other people like you. How do I find people like you? And also, how do I stay sane? I really want to like kick this into a full-time job and make it happen. Or even if it is your full-time job, I want to kick it to the next level. I don't really have anybody around me
Yeah.
like that.
Okay, I think two things. One is if you really want to, take this seriously, I think, reaching out, like I think it just takes, I think the most important thing is taking the first step, whether that's posting, whether that's, reaching out, and there's like a lot of people such as myself, that are on the internet that, we may not have like the biggest following at the moment, but we're willing to help others who, might be struggling. And I think just like reaching out and just asking for help or investing into education or watching YouTube. That's how I started, just like consuming like a bunch of educational content. And I think, like really like you don't need school, you don't need any of it. Like honestly, there's so much free information, like you can learn to do anything. And then secondly is like pace yourself and give yourself grace, like, because you're not going to become like a success overnight. It's consistent work. It's brick by brick. You have to
Enjoy your journey.
enjoy your journey. Yeah. Enjoy the journey. Like, because you're going to get to a point where you are successful and you're going to be like, man, I miss the come up,
And it's also, we were talking about it, bro. This is the sweet spot. This is like the good old days. When we have kids and we're married and we have a bunch of bigger problems to worry about, we're like, damn. Remember when we were like kids or, working on our
Remember
gyms?
when we were late 20, 30-year-old kids?
20-year-old kids. And then those were the good old days.
Yeah. We're in
So enjoy your journey. Give yourself, dude, that's a great message.
Yeah.
And go out there, put it out there and go make it happen. That's essentially the motto.
just do it.
Just do it. Just like Nike. What a great ad, man.
I know, right?
What a
There-
great saying for Nike.
This
Just do it.
podcast was sponsored by Nike.
Yeah. maybe soon.
I am
But-
wearing Nikes. So
There you go.
you are
Hey,
not. So
Nike.
maybe hide your feet.
No, we're cool. We're not sponsored right now, which is cool because we could just openly talk about anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But all right, guys, thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Don't forget to leave a comment and to see what you think. And if you have any feedback for us, until later.
Till next
Peace.
time.